Alright, for today's video, we're talking about PvP. Recently, they made the change to tackling, and so that has brought up a lot of discussion about other things they need to change in PvP. You know, was this a good decision, kind of nerfing tackling? Was it good? There's, different sides to it, so I'll go over that. But I want to hear what you guys think about PvP, what changes you want to see happen, and your thoughts on how they've changed tackling and what you want to see either them take away or add to PvP. So let me know that down below in the comments. And thank you. We gained like 100 subscribers last night, so thank you all for that. That is ridiculous. We actually might get to 1,000 before the second anniversary. I mean, if we do this, if we get 100 again tonight, like we'll get there. So thank you all for that. That is amazing. Their support has been unreal. So I do want to thank you guys for that before we jump in here. One last thing. One last piece of news for the 500 subscriber special video. The drawing, the winners have been chosen. I've contacted all but one so far. So if you're watching this, check your notifications on YouTube. I will have replied to your comment on that video, letting you know that you won. So just let me know you see that and we can, reply to that and we can talk. So anyway, PvP. If you do not know, they recently nerfed tackling in PvP. It used to be you could use a tackle right after a strike or blast starts to chain together and continue your combo. But they went ahead and got rid of that. Now if you tackle after you've already began a combo, it does not continue the combo. It just knocks them back to mid-range and you cannot attack again right away. I think there are both pluses and minuses to this. Tackling does require, there was a skillful aspect to it. You had to be at least, I wouldn't say it was the most skillful thing, but there was a skillful aspect to it. So I see why some people are upset, because now tackling, it's really only good for faking your opponent out, getting them to vanish, thinking it's a attack when it's just a tackle. That's really the whole purpose of tackling now. I guess if they don't vanish, you can hit them back and then begin your combo, because if you haven't already started attacking, the tackle will allow you to chain together a combo. But for the most part, tackling now is just used for baiting your opponent into vanishing. I see why they did this, because especially for players, if you're new or you're just more casual with the game, it's not like, you don't play this every day, or it's not, like one of your main things you do. You just do it kind of like for fun and relaxation. That could become really aggravating in PvP. I mean, normally in the lower ranking ranks, the people aren't pulling out super long combos with tackling and perfect vanishes and all that stuff. Of course, normally that's the better players who can do the best skill, makes sense. But if you run into someone and you're new, or you're just kind of more casual, and then you get stuck in that long combo of just getting hit, and then they tackle you to extend it, and it's just onslaught, and your characters are getting destroyed, I could see why that would make some people be like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm just getting destroyed. And you could say, there's the argument, you could say, okay, we'll get better so that doesn't happen. But then also, even if you're good, you could still get caught. It happens. And I mean, I've gotten caught in long combos before, and it's whatever. I probably made a mistake, or they were just simply better. That's whatever. But Dragon Ball Legends is a business as well as a game. And so they do want to keep those new and casual players in the game hooked and spending money, of course, to increase profits. So I understand why they went and did this. I'm okay with it, to be honest. It's just, one thing you gotta adapt to and learn how to do without. But that does lead to some other things in PvP that I think need to be addressed in some way, shape, or form. The biggest, of course, Rising Rush. One Rising Rush I feel is fine. I understand the point of it is like a comeback kind of mechanic. You're getting beat, you hit them with a Rising Rush, it kind of turns the battle, it gives you new life, second wind. But I've seen clips of people they use their first Rising Rush, and then like 7 cards later sometimes, they've pulled out their second. Like, I get that's a ton of luck to get those Dragon Balls, but I think they should limit it to 1 Rising Rush per match. And now, I understand against some teams like Regen, especially if they're running Zenkai Buu, Super Baby, that those matches can go on for a long time because those characters just keep regaining health. But I feel like and I'm sure 1 Rising Rush would probably lead to those guys, Regen kind of having they're already used a lot, but I feel like maybe more people would use Regen if you can only use 1 Rising Rush, because once you use that Rising Rush, then they can kind of just keep healing if you don't take that character out. But that's kind of like a situational thing, and I'm sure they can fix that too. But I think 1 Rising Rush per match per person, and you could make it set to a certain timer count, like after 30 timer counts, let's say. That's just an example that I haven't thought of exactly how many timer counts, I'm sure there's like science to figuring out the best timer count. But say after like 30 timer counts, you both have your Rising Rush activated, you can both use it. I think that's better than just kind of the luck of the draw of the Dragon Balls and being able to get like 3 Rising Rushes per match potentially if it goes on that long. So, because Rising Rushes, they turn the game into a guessing game. It just becomes a guessing game of luck when you have more than 1. 1 kind of allows for the battle to be turned around. More than 1 kind of just makes it so, like, let's play can you guess the same card as me? So, I know a lot of people want to see Rising Rush changed, and I don't think they'll get rid of it. I don't think they'll do that. So I think changing it to 1 Rising Rush after a set amount of timer counts is the best move in my opinion. Let me know, of course, what you guys might think about Rising Rushes and how to fix them. The other big issue is perfect vanishes. Perfect vanishes have kind of led to, at least from what I've seen other people say and from my experience in PvP, a lot of people just kind of sit back and play very passively to get a perfect vanish and start their combo. Which, I mean, it's a technique that works because perfect vanish is a mechanic in the game. So I don't blame them for doing it, because it's not like they're cheating or anything. That's perfectly within their right to do that. But I feel making the game so passive, it literally becomes those anime scenes where they're like, first person to move loses. And then it's just the 2 people like standing there staring at each other. Like, then it's like you send a blast, you send a tap blast. If they vanish, then you might catch them. If they just glide to the side, it's really just literally first person to attack, gets perfect vanish, and then gets stuck in a combo. Unless you've got like Bojack to swap in and hit him off, then you're kind of just gonna get annihilated. So I think they need to rework perfect vanish in some way, shape, or form. Alright, I just waited an hour for whatever machine was making loud noise in my basement to stop, so if this video is a little late, that's why. But continuing where I left off, perfect vanish. Perfect vanish needs to be reworked in some way, or they need to add a penalty for just sitting back for too long. Because some fights, I've seen some people on YouTube, it's just the 2 of them circling each other for a decent, like 10 timer counts. That's stupid. Waiting, being penalized essentially, that's what perfect vanish does. Being punished for attacking, going on the attack and being aggressive is stupid. They need to rework it in some way, that either if they get rid of perfect vanish entirely, where it's just you can't perfect vanish and attack someone immediately, and instead it's just a normal vanish every time, no matter when you time it up. But they need to adjust it or penalize people for sitting back and not attacking for too long, because no one wants to watch 2 people circle around, and that's not fun for anyone to play. Like, it's stupid. But that is the biggest problems with PvP. Addressing Rising Rush, and if the regen team is too big of a problem, like, fix regen. Fix what boosts they give and nerf them so that you don't need 10 Rising Rushes to defeat a Zenkai Boo with a baby and stuff. They need to adjust it somehow, but either make it one Rising Rush or... Well, make it one Rising Rush no matter what. When you do it, if that's a problem with regen, nerf regen. I'm sure it'll take, more effort than normal for them, but it's something they should do. And then Perfect Vanish. Adjust Perfect Vanish somehow. Address it so it's not people sitting back and then being punished for going on the attack and going on the offensive, because that's what it kind of does right now. Those are the two biggest things, I think. If you guys have another thing you think of, let me know in the comments, of course. Love to see what you guys think about PvP and what needs to be adjusted and such to make it more enjoyable for everyone, not just the casual people, but also the pros, because you do want to keep skill in the game. You don't want to just get rid of everything that makes the game somewhat skillful, but you also don't want to make it so that people are just sitting back and then spamming Rising Rushes. So, it's Rising Rushes, not skillful. Perfect Vanish, slightly more skillful, but you can learn how to do it pretty easily. So yeah, something that need to be adjusted, and yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like. Again, thank you all for the support so much. It's been amazing. Hopefully we can get to 1K soon, 1,000 subscribers. That would be insane. And yeah, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate it, and I will catch you all tomorrow.